All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's been quite a long time. A lot of changes. I pretty much graduated from college. Gonna try to do this more consistently. The channel's gonna have more uploads. I mean, this will be one big thing, but I'm gonna cut it up into smaller pieces and upload it through the week. Maybe do some mixtapes. I don't know. But today we're gonna be talking about, of course, the NBA Finals. It's been pretty interesting so far. One run right now. We've had big games from both teams. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up. One of the big things that I've seen is Tatum has been back and forth. He's had decent games, but he's had a lot of games this playoffs. Well, not a lot, but enough it shows that where he's been inconsistent and kind of either turning the ball over too much or just not showing up in general. I'm joined by Sebastian. Played basketball with him in high school. Trying to get some different insight here. What is your
Hello.
thoughts on Tatum?
I just think it's his confidence that's been holding him back. I think it with this being his first time in the finals, he's kind of playing scared, a little hesitant.
Yeah, I I was not expecting him to just come out game one and shoot a dud. I mean, he even airballed a couple threes, and I was just not expecting that. I don't know. I mean, they say there's a jitters, but at the same time, if he wants to jump from, he's a star right now. He's a very good
Yeah,
player. There's a lot of
yeah,
stars, but if he wants to jump to superstar, these inconsistent moments have to go away. They
they
can't be
do, one
there,
thousand
and
percent.
he's a very good player. I think he is, but he's not.
Yeah,
He wants to be Kobe, but he doesn't have the same mentality that Kobe had. Not a lot of guys have that, but uh, he can. He shows moments of it, but never can fully. I mean, yeah, I mean, he has his moments. He's a very good player. If he was on Detroit, I'd be happy. But uh,
yeah. I think anyone on Detroit would be happy with that.
yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a good series. Game three tomorrow. I'm gonna have this up tonight, so it's not like it makes a difference in me talking as in tomorrow. But uh, if he has a good game three in Boston, they'll be pretty good. I like my Warriors, which I've said in the past. I've talked very highly of the Warriors, so you can kind of get that. But I like them. But Boston, it's a good matchup. I don't know if the Warriors being in the finals, it's ever been like this even of a matchup. The LeBron-led team's a little
No,
bit top heavy, but this Boston team's balanced, and
yes, they're
I like
extremely balanced across their depth chart.
Toronto was pretty good, but the bench was kind of hit or miss. I don't know about their bench, but this Boston team is balanced, as are the Warriors. This is one of the more balanced Warriors teams there has been. There's no more Harrison Barnes anymore, and it's
Yeah,
the
I think the reason I think it's more evened out is because the Celtics have I think they have a better defense, and Warriors got that offense.
yeah. The Warriors are
So
top tens in defense too, but yeah, Boston's
yeah,
definitely they were the best team defensively after they turned it around this year. I mean, you got Marcus Smart, won Defensive Player of the Year, which first guard to do it since Gary Payton in 2000, I think. Maybe not 2000, but early 2000s, late 90s. Um, and they're ready to go. I mean, I like the Warriors a lot. It would hurt for me to see them lose, but to see Boston win again wouldn't be that bad. Right now, to say I mean, I've got Warriors in like I'll just say Warriors in seven because it's a beatdown series, a back
yeah,
and forth series. But um, I can't say one way or the other right now how it's gonna go because I've seen two different teams from both teams. I've seen two different
yeah.
sides of the team from both teams. So
Game two refs didn't really help with that either, as well,
yeah, I
because they
mean
were making
Boston.
really questionable calls.
Yeah, the refs. I don't. The first game, I felt like because the foul differential between the Warriors and the Celtics first game was like upwards of like 25 free throws for the Celtics and only like 12 for the Warriors. Now that could be
Yeah,
because the Warriors shoot a lot and they're not really as physical, but still there was a lot. And I also that first game I didn't like how much they just let Jalen Brown kind of fumble the ball. Brown That's the one thing I'll say Jaylen Brown lacks is his ball handle is kind of weak. I have he can go right pretty
Yeah.
good, but once he has to go left, right, and try to make a move, he kind of there's a lot of times where he'll give up the ball. So, I mean, he's pretty good. If he has to go left too much, he passes the ball. So that's not really much of an
Hmm.
issue normally, but I've seen some times where he just bobbles the hell out of it. And I don't know what to say. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't talk. I can't dribble the ball either, so I can't talk. Um,
Um,
but yeah, the refs. I could see where the Celtics are mad last game. Draymond. I missed the
yeah.
first half of the game because
Oh,
thank you
that
Kroger. I was
technical.
working that day till 9 when the game starts at 8, and I didn't see that foul that they talked about with where Draymond basically kicked Tatum in the head. From what I heard,
What?
I
I did not see that. I thought you were talking about the where he tackled the guy.
well, there was
I forgot who he
multiple.
tackled.
Draymond was
Yeah,
wild that game.
Draymond.
They
They.
needed to rein him. He probably should have been out of the game. Uh,
Yeah.
Which that's one of the Warriors'
Sure.
biggest struggles because they're already playing Looney a lot. They could play Bielitsa, but he's out there for kind of offensive rebounding. His defense, he's a lot like Danilo Gallinari. He can't really play much defense, but he can really put it in the stats. He can shoot threes pretty well. But they
Yeah.
other than Kuminga, who's gonna be good, but he's not ready for this moment yet. They don't have a Draymond backup right now. They could put Iguodala
No,
out
they
there,
do
but they're
not.
only gonna get like 10 minutes out of him. Uh, Now most of these games have been pretty even to half, but it seems like that third quarter has been big most generally. Even in game one, Warriors blew it open in the third, and then screwed up in the fourth. But that third quarters are massive in these games. Um, I- I'm curious to see what Boston does at home because throughout the playoffs this year, they've been kind of back and forth. Not They're better on the road than they are at home, which actually in this series works in their favor because the Warriors had home court advantage until now. It's 1-1. So there's going to be more
Yeah.
games in I about said Oracle in Chase Center than there are in uh, in the Garden.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. There's I heard somebody say today I figure they figured that the stadium's going to be a lot like when Kyrie shows up with like Draymond shirts saying that they hate Draymond like they did with Kyrie. So we'll see how that
Oh
goes. I
yeah.
think
I
Draymond
did.
kind of feeds off that energy though, so I don't know if they're helping or hurting themselves by doing that.
They're hurting themselves 1,000%.
Yeah. Uh, we'll see. The Celtics. Al Horford's got to have more than 2 points, and I don't think you're ever going to get another Derek White performance like that.
No.
But if Tatum can play better, and we haven't really seen a good Marcus Smart game yet. I expect possibly Game 3 could be a Marcus Smart game. Originally going in, I thought that Boston would more than likely win Game 3 anyway, so I think there's a good chance they do take Game 3. I'm not saying the Warriors are done, but I've always just had a feeling with this series that Boston's going to take Game 3. Um,
Yeah.
we'll see.
That's a huge possibility.
We'll see if they're ready for because they haven't had too many like I said the finals. They're not used to like game one. Tatum had an okay game because he was like worried about the energy. I'm curious to see how they deal with finals game in Boston with that type of energy. I mean, this could be a big game for Tatum. I mean, if they do manage to win and he has a good game here, this could be like his Finals MVP type game right here if he can do it. We'll
Speaking
see.
of
Um,
Tatum, I think was it game two or game one? First quarter, he's had 0 points. He shot
that was one. He had like 12 points that game, but he
one.
also did have 12 assists. But they can. He's not. They
Yeah,
already got a point guard. They don't need 2 point guards out there. They want him to pass, but not that
exactly.
much.
Yeah,
Um,
they just need to figure out how they can get Tatum to be more of a scorer if he wants to be like a Kobe. He's
they've
got to
been
figure out how
getting
to
him
be a better.
shots though. That's the thing. He's just not making them. He did have
Yeah,
a good first half last game, but he wasn't aggressive going into the second half, and he said that. So there's a good chance that he will just be aggressive the whole game, and it could work out in their favor. Um, we'll
Yep.
see. I don't mind. I don't mind how Wiggins has been guarding him. I don't think Wiggins can fully stop him, but he's been doing pretty good defensively on him. I don't. It's been decent. Tatum will hit his shots though. Uh, the last thing I want to talk about with the finals, and I'm gonna flip to other things. Uh, I don't think they should be playing Andre Iguodala. I realize he won a Finals MVP in 2015, which is, I mean, if you talk about it, that should have been Steph Curry's first Finals MVP, but that's another thing. But they
Yeah,
should be Gary Payton II should be getting every minute that Iguodala gets. I'm pretty sure that's why Derek
well,
White had a worse game, is because for a lot of the fourth quarter they had Gary Payton II on him.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that
You
one.
think Iguodala minutes? Okay, why?
Yeah, because Iguodala had 12 minutes last game
I think
compared to
so.
Gary Payton's 25 minutes, and Iguodala just put up as many numbers as Gary Payton did with less minutes, way less.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I
But that
guess
was
they
just
could
for one
balance them.
game. Yeah, they could probably split up the minutes and balance it. Probably give Iguodala a break for Gary Payton or whatever they got to do, right? But again, it was one game, so we don't really know. Maybe it was just Iguodala's last shining moment or something like that. Who knows? But I say give Iguodala. Plus, I think Iguodala could probably guard Tatum. I mean, he
Yeah,
stopped LeBron. So,
yeah. I think it. I think you could see a split. I like them both out there at the same time. I think it gives a little bit of help off to. I mean, I didn't even talk about Clay. I got to talk about that, but it would help if it's just like the Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, Peyton, and Looney type lineup. It would give Clay more ability to get more shots if he can make them, which has been a
yeah,
struggle. He has to play well in Game 3, or it's going to get pretty interesting here for Golden State if a guy they pay $30 million a year can't get it going. I mean, I realize he's coming off an injury, but it's been 4 or 5 months.
but
He should be able to hit a
yeah,
few threes. I mean, I like him a
been four or
lot.
5 months, and he
Most
also
of
even said he's not coming back till he's 110%. He's back now, so that's him saying he's 110%.
Yeah, he's got to figure it out. I like Clay a lot. I I don't know what his problem is. They
I
left him
still,
out there at the end of the game last game to kind of get him going, but all he did was break 4 or 5 more shots, so it didn't really help that much.
yeah,
But maybe he
I, I
likes the rims in Boston. Who knows?
I still stand behind the what Kendrick Perkins said about Clay,
Uh,
about how they should trade him. I still stand behind that. I really think they could. If they trade, they would have to. They could probably get Anthony Davis.
I don't know about
If they
AD. I really wouldn't
now, if they
want
give up
AD.
Clay and
I,
if
would,
they give up Clay and James Wiseman, I think it would be a great fit for AD in the Warriors
I don't know about that.
because they already got an upcoming star with Jordan Poole, who is just like Clay but better handles, less of a shot.
Yeah, lack of defense is a difference. Clay is still a moderate defender at this
Yeah, I forgot
point.
Clay's defense.
Poole, I don't know if ever can get to the point where he can play sufficient defense. You're always going to need somebody there. Guess it's kind of a Curry situation. They're going to have some sort of guy
Yeah, I
beside
didn't.
him that can play defense at an elite level. Um,
Yeah, I did not think about
if they were
that.
gonna trade Clay, which they are kind of, Wiggins has 1 year left on his contract. Cap's looking at him. Um,
No, the owner of the Warriors, but he says he doesn't want to split up the big three because it allows Jordan Poole, James Wiseman, and what's his name,
Wiggins.
Wiggins. Yeah, to be like the next big three for
Yeah,
future. You know.
I could. I don't know if they'll get rid of Clay just because most teams, if a guy does as much as Clay's done on a team, they don't tend to let them go. I mean, you've had a few
Yeah,
situations where your guys have ended up on other teams like Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, but generally there's a lot of guys that are like that. It's not like a Jerry Krause situation in the Warriors. The GM is not ready to get rid of Clay or Curry or Draymond anytime soon. Um, and
they're never getting
they'll
rid of.
be there. Although Depends on how much Clay wants that next contract to be, because it's not
I,
going to be a big contract again. I think he's got two
Clay
left
is a
on it.
loyal dude.
He's got two
He's
left on
Kobe.
it. So, and he's not, they're not going to buy him out and re sign him. It's not, they'll just have to eat what the contract was. When they signed him, he was one of the better shooting guards in the league. I think he's still borderline top 10 with the way he's playing right now. Now, another off-season recharge. If he can get the defense back, maybe he can slip back into the top 10. But right now, he's
Yeah.
solid. But he's getting kind of hidden with their amount of assets they have there that can produce a lot of offense, and the defense keeps him. He doesn't have to do as much as he would on a team that's not as good at defense, so that does help as well. But there's been a few plays that it's like questioning it. I don't know. They're gonna have a few questions here in a few years, but they managed to make it through the Durant exodus, so they can probably figure this one out. So
Yeah. And oh no, never mind.
okay,
That was off topic. What I was about to say.
that's all right. NBA. That's enough NBA final. What do you got him? What's your pick?
For winning,
Yeah, how many games and who you got?
I got Warriors at 6.
Okay.
But if Tatum can get in that flow, I think they could push it to 7. But I don't think they're gonna win it. I
Yeah,
think if Tatum can get his confidence back, I think could push it to a 7-game series. But I still think the Warriors will be winning the series.
yeah. I got him in 7 because I get that itch for thinking Game 3 is gonna be a Tatum game. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go 7, and I guess that's another pick. It's gonna be a Tatum game in Game 3. I think the Celtics will win Game 3. I don't think they're gonna win the series, but I think what happens, they win Game 3, they get too much confidence, and then the Warriors punch them in the mouth for a couple games, and then it goes. And then Boston went 6 in Boston, and then Golden State went 7 in Chase.
Yep.
But there's a lot of questions going into 3. 3 should answer quite a bit. We'll see how they
Oh,
do.
and before we finish off with the finals, Steph is getting Finals MVP if they win the series.
As long as he doesn't pull Chris Paul. First 2 games
If
really
Steph
good,
doesn't
and
get
then no, only
if
Chris
Steph
Paul
doesn't
can
get
do
his
that.
Finals MVP, then this NBA is rigged. I don't care.
I think,
Steph
yeah, they
deserved
got to win, but
what,
yeah.
3 of them, 2 of them now.
What'd you say?
He's deserved what, 2? No, 1. He deserved 1.
He's
KD
deserved
probably got
one
the
so
other.
far this
Yeah,
year. If he
yeah, he
doesn't
deserved
get it,
1.
which there's no way they're giving it to Draymond or Wiggins, so
Oh no,
yeah, he'll get it
there's
this
no
year
way
if they
Iguodala
win.
again at
If
this
they win,
point.
I gotta down Boston here, which is like I said, even matchup. But on a happier note, I want to talk about the Deshawn Watson 24th case. I don't know if you guys are not. I don't generally get into too much outside noise because I just like to stick to the X's and O's of what's happening. But I think the Browns have severely just screwed themselves. They're pretty well built in every position. They've got Myles Garrett who will literally try to tear somebody's head off. They've got good corners. I forget. They just signed a. I don't see. I try to talk about something I don't know the names, but they've got decent corners. They just signed one of their corners to a pretty big deal. Decent rushers. I think they still got Clowney there on the line, D line. Good
They
O
do, yeah.
line, good running back in Chubb and
You got Donovan Peoples Jones,
People's.
Jarvis. No,
Yeah,
did
they've
Jarvis
got
Landry leave?
Hooker, Austin Hooker, or is it Hooper? No, I think it's Austin Hooper at tight end. They
Yeah, it's
got
Cooper.
decent pieces, and they had a decent quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Not a great one, but he was good enough. I mean,
He,
anybody who can throw for 400 yards is a decent quarterback, and he's won games doing that, going back and forth with guys. Uh,
yeah, and
Not
that
top
corner
10,
you were
but middle of
thinking
the
of
road, 11 to 20.
is Denzel Ward. Was that corner you were thinking of?
Yeah, Ward, yeah. Ward got pay money. But Deshaun Watson, I mean, they gave him a massive contract, 285, 5 years, without even knowing if he was going to play this year or how many games he's
Yeah.
going to be suspended. Big Ben had these sexual allegations, and not like this, but he had sexual allegations and missed 6 games off of suspension. And now they got this guy that, I mean, this guy makes Ray Rice look like he was at a playground. That's this
Jesus.
Deshawn Watson. I mean, this 24th one that came forward after the lawyer. I mean, if you don't want to hear like the intangibles, just skip forward a couple minutes. But the lawyer said that there's nothing illegal about a happy ending on a massage because these were all massage therapists, all these separate cases. He's a noted guy who goes to a massage therapist and asks for a happy ending, which is that's there's places for that. I mean, as much as people don't want to say, there's places for that, and he was not going to those places. He was going to a regular massage parlor and asking for a little bit extra. And
Yeah, well, there's two sides to that story as well. I mean, obviously, I mean, the lady, she has her side of the story. I'm not going to get into it. It gets really deep, but he
yeah,
says he was just going in there to get his glutes or his hamstrings stretched or whatever,
well,
and that's what he was saying. But her side of the story seems probably
sounded
realistic
like he
of
was
like
trying to get
she
one of
really
his
went
legs
into Dale.
stretched, but
Yeah,
not his hamstring.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But
but yeah,
I had a, I,
did you hear what the last one said?
no, I didn't.
She said that he proceeded to
Oh
whip
yes,
it
yeah,
out and
whip it out. Do his little
when she
thing,
told
and
him no, he continued to the point where we all know what happens.
where the no point of return.
No point of return. And it
Yeah,
so happened to get some fluid on her.
yeah, yeah. I heard about that
And
one.
she did not come forward until the lawyer said there's nothing illegal about a happy ending. So I don't think she would have came forward if his lawyer wasn't so cocky. And I don't
Yeah,
know how you
but
can. I don't know. Even Amber Heard's lawyers weren't this cocky. This dude's got 20 had 23 cases before none of them have been settled, not one. And the seasons I get it's 3 months away, but this is I mean that he'd have to settle like 7.5 cases a month at this point to get there. I mean, I realize he's got the money now with that guaranteed contract, but I mean, if they kick Ray Rice out of the league for what he did, which is horrible, this guy's right up there with him. I don't know how
and
he
you
can
know
ever
what?
play a game again with this kind of stuff happening. I realize there's no film of it, but there's no film in a massage parlor. That's not what happens.
I mean, honestly, start throwing cameras in there for that reason.
Well, they can't do that to the ones that pay good money for the happy ending massage. I mean, come on.
Exactly. But another thing, when you said Ray Rice, that's kind of how Ray Rice got suspended for 2 games because he beat his girlfriend or wife
Yeah, I thought he got kicked.
in
It
the
was only
elevator.
2 games for Ray Rice.
2 games, I believe. Yeah,
That's
2 or 6,
rough. Oh,
something
jeez.
like that. But no, what I don't understand is why are you only going to get suspended, dude, that beat his wife in an elevator for 2 games, but Calvin Ridley, he's suspended for all next season because he placed bets on his own team for losing.
Yeah, that was
And
Goodell.
he was not playing. Therefore, he's not playing.
I
I think he was injured at that time.
yeah
And you're going to suspend him a whole season for placing bets on a game? He bet his own team to lose.
yeah. That's my thing with the betting with the player. You should only be able to bet on your team to win or lose. You shouldn't be able to bet on how many points a person's gonna have and different things. But I think you should be able to bet on your own team. Now betting to lose is a little bit brave there, but
Hey,
I don't blame him
I
either
would
for last year. But
I wouldn't do that. That you can bet on your own team. I think you should be able to bet on other teams. Because if I was a back in the NFL, like Cam Newton, we can really throw Cam Newton. You know when he didn't dive on that football? Who knows? Maybe he was supposed to lose that game for someone.
yeah, I don't
Just
know.
saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't think you should be able to bet on your own team, but I think you should be allowed to bet on other
Yeah. I, it would be good, but at the same time, NFL players run through money like it's water. So at this point, it's
teams.
probably
Yeah,
better that they can't bet on stuff because half of them end up having to get a job after they're done in some way, shape, or form because they've went through all their money.
Dennis
Um,
Rodman.
but back to Deshaun and the massage parlor. Like you said, with the different suspensions. The difference with this one is it's a third party doing the figuring out what the suspension is. Goodell has no say on how long the suspension is. So that's going to make it interesting because this is, I mean, they keep trying to get women to watch football, and this is not going to help at all if they give him some light little slap on the back type suspension.
Oh no,
I
I'm
think at
sure
the
every
very
woman that
least
knows
it should
is
be the
standing
year.
behind them.
That's how I feel. I think at the very least it should be a year. I
A
don't.
year. I
I
agree with
we've
that.
never seen anything of this magnitude from a football player. I mean, it's just even NBA play. I mean, Harden goes to a strip club, but you never hear about anything like this. I
Yeah.
It's something unheard of. I mean, closest you came to this was they caught the Patriots owner in one of those massage parlors, but he never got anything more than if he did, he paid his way out of it. But it was like one time. I mean, there's 24, but you don't know how many more times he had this happen,
Actually did
and you
it.
don't
Yeah,
know.
because
I mean, they
some girls don't
say
come
you
forward.
can't believe everything, but I mean, once it gets over like 10 or 12 for me, it seems like maybe there's something to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's either it actually happened or all these girls are trying to get money.
Yeah,
It's
it's
only those
rough.
two out. It's it's really like
It's
if you actually did do that, like you traumatized all those girls.
Yeah.
There's no doubt
The
about it.
one, the last one here, she even quit doing massages after this.
Yeah, I mean, if I mean, you gotta think about what she went through. That
Yeah.
stuff's not okay. She was uncomfortable. You shouldn't be doing
The
that.
crazy part is as famous as he was, he could probably had a lot of those Instagram girls that'll do anything to get some guy with a lot of money. That's the stupid part. He had probably the ability to get girls if he wanted to. So
Yeah,
he's just stupid. I mean, it's just not a good look for him. I mean, on the
I
flip
don't want to.
side, with the Browns, you had a decent quarterback in Baker, and now he's not happy. He wants out. You got
Yep.
if you can't have Deshaun and him playing at either or in one season, I think they're out like almost $50 million on the cap that they just have sitting dead weight, and they need to. And I think they have Jacoby Brissett as their backup quarterback, who's worse than Teddy Bridgewater, and Bridgewater's decent at best for like 3-4 games of the season.
Yeah, and then he'll probably just get hurt,
It,
knocked out, one of the two.
it's they don't. It's just the Browns. They were almost over the hill, and then they found a way to fall back down. They're just stupid.
Yeah, and I feel like Baker would sit because he's unhappy. And this dude,
Yeah,
he throws tantrums. He throws a lot of tantrums.
yeah.
And I feel like this dude will sit if he wants to. If he says, I want to trade, I'm not playing till I get that trade, he's going to not play till he gets
Yeah,
that trade.
I mean, the players' agreement. He isn't going to lose money, but he's probably got the money from all those Allstate commercials he's done, or whatever, nationwide, where he's on
Um,
the
Nationwide,
yeah,
Allstate, and
all those
Hulu.
commercials he did. He's probably made the 18 million. I mean, there's nobody in their right mind wants to just sit out and lose 18 million, besides Ben Simmons. But uh, there's it just he if he was on at least 4 or 5 teams I can think of that he would have been good on. Panthers could use a better quarterback because they don't want Sam Darnold. I mean, even the Lions, I would take God from Mayfield. That's a whole different story. I'm not going to say the Lions, but
Lions shouldn't even be focusing.
yeah, um, yeah, uh,
The Lions should be really focusing on getting new owners.
yeah. Well, that won't happen because they want their name on the side of the building. But that's a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
bag of
I know.
worms. But
Good old Ford family like to ruin
Yeah.
everything.
They can make a good car, though, I'll tell you that much. They make a hell of a car. Yeah. But, yeah, Baker, he could be on another team. I mean, New York Giants would
Hey,
probably love to have him. That'd be a
Giants.
hell
I
of an
think you're right
upgrade
with
over
Danny
Danny
Dimes.
Jones
I I think New York's going to stick with Danny Dimes,
for this year.
but
If
I
he
I
sucks, I
think
mean, Baker could slip right in there next year. If he sits and he's a free agent, then he could go
yeah.
right to New
So
York.
he
That
could
could be
go.
a spot.
These are my probably top three picks for Baker:
Okay.
the Panthers,
Yeah.
New York, and the Seahawks.
See, yeah, I forgot about the Seahawks. Yeah, Russ is in the
Because Russ
yeah, the Broncos now.
Russ went to the
Seahawks got
Broncos, and
Drew
now they got
Lock.
Drew Lock
Drew Lock trying
and
to throw
Geno
dimes.
Smith.
Oh, gee. Yeah. Drew Lock's got a better chance of making a platinum album than he does throwing 10 touchdowns this year. Uh, but yeah,
Oh no, he got DK. I mean, DK might be able to help.
is
And
if DK plays like Debo Samuels, maybe, but uh, I don't know. But I don't know. Sometimes, well, maybe Drew Lock will play decent in another system. We'll see how good Pete
maybe.
Carroll is, really. I mean, at this point.
Pete Carroll's a defensive head, or he's a defensive minded coach.
So,
So I don't.
good luck, Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Speaking of Debo, the 49ers just re signed Debo to 3 or 4 year long term deal. And he's going to be there a while. I hope. One of his
That's
big
good.
issues before he signed that contract is he did not really want to play running back as much as they had him do this year because it's a lot of stress on the bones, and he wants to have a decent career. Running backs don't have long careers. Uh,
Yeah, I thought. No, I thought the issue was if he was going to be playing both positions, he wants more money.
I think it was a little bit of both. Uh,
Both. Okay.
I think he
Yeah.
doesn't mind playing it, but he doesn't want to be every third down. He's gonna go run the ball type of thing. He
Yeah.
want
And
he knows he's a deep threat. They could hit him deep, but he wants more of that type of action instead of
but with
straight up the
with
middle
the
like Derrick Henry.
but who do the 49ers got at running back right now? Because they lost Raheem
They
Mostert
lost. Yeah, Moser.
because he went to the Dolphins.
I don't know if they drafted somebody or what, but they. I
Uh,
don't. I
I've
don't
not paid
know. Let
attention
me
to the
let me
Niners
see real quick. I'll look it up. Let me see
because with
who the
Raheem Mostert,
49ers.
Debo might have to play running back if they want to go to the playoffs.
Maybe they can get Frank Gore out of retirement.
They're actually a playoff team no matter what where Debo goes. But
Yeah.
if they want a chance at Super Bowl,
Uh,
they might need Debo running a little bit of
Elijah
running.
Mitchell's not bad. That's who their main guy is.
Okay,
He's not too bad. Yeah, he's dead. They got
okay,
they got a they got a running back. He's a pretty good young
they
guy.
do. Okay,
Their big thing
all
is
right.
Jimmy Garoppolo's down the depth chart. They're gonna try to give Trey Lance a go. They threw 3 draft picks at that pick, so they got to give him a chance. They've been saying a lot about him at practice.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think what they did was smart. Sit him for a year, let him learn the system, and then throw him in the fire.
yeah.
So I think they did that smart with what um the Jaguars did with Trevor Lawrence, just throw or not Trevor Lawrence,
I
Zach
mean,
Wilson,
that's
or the Jets did with Zach Wilson. That was they shouldn't have done that. I think you should always sit your quarterback the first year so he can
yeah.
learn that system. That's how I think they should do it.
It's not like Lawrence would have learned much from Urban Meyer anyway. But
Unless you get like a guy like Lamar who can
yeah,
use his legs, you
and
have to utilize him at a young age because those legs are going to wear out in like 8 years.
yeah, I mean Lamar's already went through injuries last year. I hope that doesn't persist for him, but it's not a good look
Yeah,
for a running quarterback. Yeah, but 49ers pretty good all around. I mean, if they can get their quarterback fixed, because Jimmy G is bad for the interceptions. We all know that. Uh, they
yeah,
got they got Ayuk and Debo, and they got Kittle. I mean, and they got Juszczyk at fullback, and like I said, Elijah Mitchell. They've got decent weapons. They have to get their quarterback position fixed up. I mean, if they had a better quarterback in the Super Bowl, even though they made the Super Bowl, they probably would have. They had a better chance of winning. I mean,
Yeah, oh yeah, back when they played the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs were down in
Oh,
that game. They were almost
yeah,
they
that
almost
was a
put
huge
their throat
comeback.
down on them. That was a crazy game, but
That was.
uh,
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, 49ers. I'll be interested to see how Lance does. I've got a few. I collect the sports cards, and I got a few Lance rookies, so we'll see how he goes. Um, the Ravens wise, I was talking about them. I've heard a lot of noise about them lately. I mean, Lamar, and a big thing with him, just like with the Deshawn Watson, with them signing him to a guaranteed deal, which is unheard of at this point, to give your quarterback a guaranteed money, especially that much a year. Next year is Lamar's contract year, which is horrible for the Ravens with the timing of that Deshaun deal. Now, if that Deshaun deal, I don't know what they can do with that deal. We have to see what happens with Deshaun first, but Lamar, he's got that deal coming up. He's not going to be happy if they don't pay him a lot, but at the same time, like we were just talking, we don't know his longevity yet, so we don't know how long he's going to
Yeah,
play.
those dual
If
threat
this injury,
quarterbacks don't last long.
yeah, if this injury was for his first one in a line of a lot, like a Derrick Rose type, I hope nobody ever has a
Or
Derrick Rose type stretch of
D3,
injuries,
Robert
but
Griffin.
Lamar's fun to watch, but they also, I mean, they got rid of Hollywood Brown, brought in Uzama. They already had uh, Mark Andrews, I think is his tight end there. Yeah,
Yeah, Mark Andrews. He's
yeah,
a top three tight end.
yeah. They're gonna be running a lot of two tight end set. They don't really have a deep shot. Antonio Brown said he's not playing. That was a thing that went around a while,
Oh
but
yeah, because of him being cousins with Hollywood Brown.
yeah, there's gonna a lot of people blitz the Ravens because of
Well,
Lamar being able to
yeah,
run,
they're
but with those tight
well.
ends and them short routes, it'll probably help him with two tight ends.
Did you watch that? Did you watch the Raiders game or the
No,
Raiders Ravens game
no, I
last
didn't
year, like
see
the
that
first
one.
game of the season? I think. Oh, Max Crosby, he was doing some work on Lamar.
Yeah,
About if they can figure out how to like contain Lamar, they're done. The Ravens are done.
yeah,
Lamar's their only team. Like Lamar is the team for them, and you
they
can't have one person carry a team.
they haven't had a really good playoff run since they won the Super Bowl in 2011 or 2012 with Flacco. I mean,
Yeah,
they've got decent pieces, but they need something more. They just, I mean, the
they
most
got a pretty
news
good defense.
movement wise is when they traded away Hollywood Brown. They have decent defenders. Maybe some of the younger guys like I forget. I'm trying to think. They drafted him last year, but they've done some decent drafts. Maybe they
Uh,
can turn into something.
Arlen Humphrey. Uh,
Yeah,
they got Clive
the
Campbell,
cornerbacks being
Patrick
healthy
Queen.
is going to help a ton.
Yeah, and if J.K. Dobbins comes back healthy off what he
Oh,
had
I forgot
ACL
about
tear, I think.
J.K. Yeah,
J.K.
he was
Dobbins.
good at
Yeah,
was he Ohio State or Wisconsin?
yeah. Ohio State, I
Oh
believe.
yeah. Yeah, I remember he ran all over Michigan. Not that they could have stopped him much that year anyway, but um,
Right.
yeah, Ravens could have a good year. Uh, Now on the Wilder side of things, Cam Newton is still not signed, but on a podcast like a week ago, he talked about that he thinks there's not 32 quarterbacks in the league that are better than him. Now I don't exactly see that because what we've seen out of him, even when he had like a full season in New England, wasn't that special. I mean, he was okay. I mean, I'd argue that Marcus Mariota could have played better than he did, and we'll see that how he does in the Falcons this year. Mariota does,
Yeah.
but I mean, he had one or two good games. He's another one of them running quarterbacks like Lamar that had about a 5 year stint with good games, and then unfortunately the injuries caught up to him, and he's just never been the same since. Was never a really good passer, so that I mean, the shades from Lamar to Cam Newton are close, except Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl his MVP year, and Lamar unfortunately got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
So Cam, uh, there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. I don't know if you'll see Cam Newton ever play again. He was great, but for them
Yeah, I
to
think
say
his
he's
time's
worth
up.
a big deal is just crazy to me.
It's not. Well, what has he done in the past 2 or 3 years?
What has he done in the past five? I mean, once he got that
Or
Super
yeah,
Bowl, I
that
think the
too.
next season was like a 5-win season, which was crazy drop
Yeah,
off. I mean,
I mean, he think he might be getting a little bit of those CTE that
yeah,
they
too
talk
many
about.
hits. Yeah, too much flipping and yeah, I don't know. Cam Newton. I
He's
mean,
washed. He's done.
Tom Brady put him to bed. Tom Brady will end careers. So
Yep,
yeah,
the legend killer Tom Brady.
yeah. Cam Newton and Julio Jones can go fishing on a boat someday and talk about the Super Bowl ring they could have had, but they don't. Um, yeah. Let's go NBA draft. Um, I'm kind of excited for the NBA draft. I haven't been on here in a while to talk about it, but I was gonna after the lottery get on here and make a podcast. But when the Pistons didn't get a top three pick, I kind of got depressed for about a week and just started. I didn't really want to talk about it that much. I'm just now getting to the point where I can talk about them picking at five. Um, I would like to see them use Jeremy Grant as a piece to move up. I think Sacramento is just dumb enough to give us the fourth pick. Now, my heart has always been set on Banchero. I don't know if they'll be able to get that if they went up to four, but we'll see. Troy Weaver knows what he's doing. Um, I don't know. Uh, I don't know. It's hard for me. Who have you seen that you think they should pick? Have you been looking much at the prospects for Detroit?
Uh, no, I haven't. I mean, Jaden Levi,
Yeah,
or
Ivy.
however you say his name,
Yeah,
Ivy,
Ivy.
however you say
He
it.
played at
Yeah,
Purdue. He's decent, but his defense is okay at times. He has good defense, but he kind of
well,
goes in and out.
but he's a playmaker. It's
Yeah, he's
something
a
the Pistons
playmaker.
kind of need right
Now,
now.
Cade will pass the ball pretty frequently, so I don't. Maybe a good offensive guy because they've been talking about trading for Sexton, and I'm like, why the hell would you give up assets for Sexton when you could draft Ivy? I just don't see that point.
Why would they go after? I'd go after Garland over Sexton.
Well, they're not going to give up Garland. Sexton's on the trade block, so that's why they're
Oh, he
talking
is
about
okay.
Sexton. But they if they want an offensive guard next side of Cade, they should just draft either Ivy or Sharp. Sharp, another one.
Yeah,
Sheldon Sharp went to UK, didn't play because he had an injury the whole season, and now all of a sudden I'm looking at these high school mixtapes where he dunked on some dude who's like barely 6 foot. It's like I can't.
yeah, but I don't think they should really. If they, I wouldn't mess with Sharp because it to
It's
me it's another Michael Porter
it's like swinging for the fences. I don't like
situation
that. I hate that. I
because
mean,
that's what happened with Michael Porter Jr.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you can go through Baller's life and you'll find half of the mixtapes are people that are playing, and half of them are people who are playing in Europe because you can have a damn good high school career. And if this guy never got to show what he would do in college, but there's some guys make it to college like Jellyfam quickly or Javern. I can't even pronounce it, but Jellyfam.
yeah,
Everybody knows. He
yeah.
went to college. He's averaging 4 points right now. There's another guy, Jordan McCraby. Looked like white chocolate Jason Williams back in high school. Goes to West Virginia, 4 points, 2.5 assists. You're supposed to be a facilitator and a half. Goes there. I mean, even like a Mac McClung was averaging like 30 in high school, let alone he's playing up in the hills in Virginia. You could kind of expect that drop off there. He did okay. He dropped down to like, I think he had 15 at Georgetown, went to Texas Tech, had 20. Now he's playing G League, barely on a roster. He got one call up. Just, I don't mess with the high school mixtapes. They're fun to watch, but they're not something I want to ride my whole
Yeah,
team's future on. And I don't like riding my team's future on somebody who's injured. That's why I was not that mad when the Bobo trade got voided because a big man with foot injuries is just a no go for me. Um, you got the last one I saw that the Pistons could possibly take at 5 is Keegan Murray out of Iowa. He looks decent, but my comparison to him is a Tobias Harris. He's decent, but I'm pretty sure the skill set you see in college is going to be pretty much what you get in the NBA, which is decent, but he's maybe going to be a one-time All-Star, but he's going to give you decent numbers, but he's not going to ever be he's not he's not like a Tim Duncan type of fundamentals. He's not going to be a guy who gives you MVPs and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
at this point, if they don't trade out and Ivy's on the board, I'd take I'd take Ivy every day of the week at this point. Uh, him and Cade. I've seen him in the Pistons jersey. He looks pretty good in the Pistons jersey. So, um, yeah, Jaden Ivey. I wish we were in position to get Banchero. I really do. I would have loved to have seen. We need to get Cade a lot that this year, whether it's Aiton or Mitchell Robinson or Mo Bamba. Don't really like Mo Bamba. I actually don't want that, but just some sort
Yeah.
of big to get Cade. Some sort of lop threat. I like Bagley. Get Bagley back, but we need something else. Bagley's gonna be a good bench piece. Uh,
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant. Uh, I don't. I like Jeremy, but he's like. I feel like he's a piece we're gonna get somebody else for. I've heard possibly trading him to the Hawks have been really pushing lately, but they don't want to give up DeAndre Hunter and they don't want to give up John Collins. So why are we even talking to him? To them, I don't. I've been hearing a lot Bogdanovich. It's like, come on. I just don't get that. I don't.
Well, they're not with the team they got now. They're not a playoff contending team, so they're in rebuild mode.
Yeah,
Uh, so
yeah. I don't.
probably the one of the hardest things to do is to get out of rebuild mode.
Yeah, it's. I would rather see them get Portland's pick. I think Portland has pick 7, and then we could figure out we could get some assets off of Portland. I mean, possibly get Yusuf Nurkic off of Portland, good defensive big. If we're not gonna be, see, there's a lot of contingencies for Detroit. It depends on whether you're gonna get a big in free agency or not.
They if they made a trade, do you think the Pelicans would give up Brandon Ingram for that?
No, I think they're
No.
too afraid Zion's gonna leave. I don't think they want to get rid of Ingram. I think Ingram's their like contingency plan for when or if Zion leaves. I've heard we can get Jackson Hayes from the Pelicans. Pick 8, Jackson Hayes for Grant. Would need a little bit more there, but I'm not that mad at that trade because Hayes can catch a lob. And then at pick 8, I
Yes.
don't know who we could get. And then we'd have 5 and 8, maybe possibly move up for Banchero, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air. 5 kind of just threw me off. I was not expecting us to get 5. I just don't know what to really do with it at this point. Um, Number one, I mean, the top pick wise, I mean, I don't know who's going to be the top pick, whether it's going to be Holmgren or Jabari Smith. And I mean, the one year we had Anthony Bennett go number 1 when he shouldn't have even been in the top 15. So we never know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. I don't think anybody's that stupid anymore, but you never know.
If I think Orlando will go Jabari, and then OKC will probably go Chet. That's how I think it's going to go.
Yeah. I wish we could swing
Because
with Houston and get Bennett.
I think with Orlando, they already got what? They got Bobo and Mobamba.
Yeah, but Mo Bamba's a free agent too, and he's probably more likely
Oh,
to leave if they could draft a big.
yeah.
And
So I think that's why they're going to go towards Jabari.
another
Because he can
one thing
play
to think
three.
about with Orlando is that Suggs has played with Holmgren back in high school, so maybe they go that route to tie them back up. But at the same time, Suggs had a mediocre rookie season, not everybody has a great rookie season, but there wasn't. I mean, the team sucked, but there wasn't much to show on Suggs' side. I think he averaged like 12, cup 3 assists. It wasn't anything that spectacular. He got outshined by Franz Wagner, who was actually like the 12th pick, but has been like a monster. Uh, but I don't know.
But
It's gonna be interesting. There's always that like week before the draft where somebody gets hyped up all to hell and somebody like overdrafts somebody.
yeah,
Like
kind of like Flash.
I mean Tyler
Was it?
Hero
Yeah,
worked out, but he kind of got overhyped a lot, and then Miami picked him a little bit higher than a lot of people thought he would go. Which I mean he was I think that worked out, but it doesn't always work out.
yeah. They like all it takes is him to not fit in the system.
Yeah.
I mean, but with Chet Holmgren, I think I, for my comparison, he reminds me a little bit of Kristaps.
Yeah, I could see a Chris Tops. I could also see the team that gets him booing. Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah, but Holmgren's got that KD type frame that everybody keeps just dogging on, but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, he's probably gonna destroy every team that dogs on him. So
I mean, look at Giannis when he came in the league,
yeah,
and then look at him now. So who knows? He might be able to throw some muscle on there.
yeah. Either way, he's gonna build muscle if he has a rotation
Yeah,
spot in the league. So man, Holmgren's just weird. I've never seen like a 7 footer his size be able to dribble the ball like he does.
Kevin
Maybe
Durant.
Davis is probably the closest. But Davis, yeah.
Kevin Durant's a
Maybe
7 footer.
Holmgren
He
played
just
point
lied.
guard just like AD did. I don't know. But
Wasn't this the kid that crossed up Curry back in high school?
I think so, yeah. He went to Curry's
Okay.
camp. I remember that now.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting draft. I'm ready for draft night. I'll probably have to work. I know that. Yeah, highly expecting them to schedule me 12:30 to 9. Good 8 hour shift right into the draft. I'm sure the draft will start right directly at 8. And I'll get
Yep.
home right after the Pistons pick. So I'll be ready for it. Probably won't be able to record that day, but I'll record my reaction when we draft Sheldon Sharp. And yeah, I'll be ready. But you got anything else? Or
Um,
any topic? Doesn't even have to be the draft. I mean, I don't care at this point. Kind of just
I kind of want to talk about the Dolphins on the
the
moves
dog.
they
All
made
right, let's do it.
because they are clearly going for speed because they
Yeah.
got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Raheem Mostert.
Yeah. I mean, how can even Tua type quarterback can't screw this up? He shouldn't be able to screw this up. Even
Two Tua's gonna screw it up. This man can't throw more than 20 yards.
well, Waddle's going to be running a lot of slants, and he'll be good to go. He'll just catch him at the end of the slant like in Madden, and he'll take it to the end zone.
Yeah. Well, you got players like Tyreek Hill that he just runs straight. He's already beaten everyone. I mean, I,
Yeah.
I don't know. And actually, I do want to talk about that trade too, Kansas City. And who do you did you watch that or did you pay attention to that trade at all or no?
Yeah, Kansas City got quite a lot of assets for that trade. Tyreek was going to put them severely into the cap. They were kind of screwed both ways. But
Yeah,
they
and
did get a lot of assets back, and they signed Valdez Scantley to kind of make up a little bit of the Tyreek hole that he left. Um, Still think it's going to hurt, but Mahomes can make a lot out of a little. They've got Kelsey still, so uh, should be able to figure it out. Another thing with Kansas City is the Honey Badger went to the Saints. They did sign that dude out of Texans that was good, but at the same time, how many teams were trying against the Texans this year? Is my thing. I mean, he looked
none.
good, but I mean, there's probably a lot of people just throwing moon balls out there while they were playing the Texans because they were up like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, but the Chiefs did have to get rid of Tyreek. They couldn't afford him.
Yeah, and I mean, he was going to start to regress. That was only a matter
Yeah,
of time. That speed can
and
only last so long.
and I think Kansas City still won that trade.
Yeah,
without a doubt, because they are still a Super Bowl team
Yeah.
while losing Tyreek Hill. Because
The
it only takes them 13 seconds to score.
yeah. The issue
All
with
they got. Go ahead.
yeah, the only issue I see with the Chiefs is the fact that the Bills drafted the one piece that they need in a running back. They got a running back at the beginning of the second round, and the Bills they basically had them beat in regulation if they could have guarded the middle, and
All they had to do is win a coin flip.
yeah, they would have been fine. I think the Bills can put the Chiefs down this year.
Oh, they
Now,
will.
it depends on if they come and match up against each other because there's a lot of teams out there trying to cut people's throats. I mean, the Broncos with Russ, when that Chiefs division with, like I said, Broncos with Russ, Raiders with Devontae and Carr, and Chargers with Herbert, and they had a lot of weapons on the defensive side, and they also Herbert's getting better. I don't see that Herbert and the Chargers being the top dog there, but they're gonna be somebody's gonna give somebody trouble through the year, and the Chiefs are not gonna really have easy games in their division. So
No, they are in the hardest division ever. Like
yeah,
throughout the whole entire history of the NFL, this has to be the hardest division.
yeah, talent wise, I mean, on paper it can look a lot better than it does, but it seems like it should be pretty damn hard. I mean, the Broncos should be a
Yeah,
lot
because they
better.
just
They got Jerry Judy. Should actually have somebody who can throw him the ball now, and they've got Noah Font, pretty
and they got
decent
the
young guy.
Chargers, Ian Allen, Justin Herbert,
Yeah,
and then the Raiders with Derek Carr
their
and Darren
car,
Waller,
like you said, I forget the edge rusher you said on the
Max
Raiders.
Crosby.
Yeah, Crosby is going to be running at Mahomes. They better. I mean, that line was decent for the Chiefs last year, but it wasn't exactly like we remember it 100% of the times.
Uh,
So
well,
the
that's
Chiefs got
their
to keep
center.
upgrading, or they're going to get passed up here. I'd say
The
this
Chiefs.
next 2 years is going to be interesting for the Chiefs if they can keep it up, or your pieces are going to slowly just keep getting cut off their team. I don't
Yeah.
know. They've also got some old defensive ends there that they're going to have to replace pretty soon here. And
Oh,
I'm trying to get Chris Jones is getting older there for there, and I mean we'll see. I mean Patrick Mahomes is gonna figure it out. Sometimes Andy Reid's a decent coach, but
yep. And then
somebody's also
Tom.
yeah. You're saying Brady?
Oh yeah, Tom Brady might be buying the Dolphins or something like that. That's what I
Nah,
heard.
that fell through when Brian Flores said they were paying him to lose games. That was right when
Oh,
Brady retired.
uh,
Uh, but now you heard about the Brady Fox deal, right?
oh no,
10
what's that
years,
about?
375 million he gets once he retires to go commentate at Fox. So he's not doing anything like that. He's going Fox.
Oh, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And congratulations to Brady. That man just literally he wakes up and he makes money. That's what he does. I mean, it is insane. But yeah, I right now I like the Buccaneers, but I don't like the Buccaneers without Gronk right now. I would like to see them get Gronk back. He might not come back. They've got a decent team. They just way too far out to say who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, they got Tom Brady came back, right?
Yeah, Brady's back.
Okay,
They got a
okay.
decent roster, but there's a
So
lot
we
of
won't get
younger
to see
teams that have been
Kyle
getting better.
Trask
So
because Kyle Trask was one of those quarterbacks.
yeah,
Like he was in, with Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence. That draft class was crazy.
yeah. You had Kyle Trask and you had I forget who
Trey
Blaine
Lance.
Gabbert too. You had Blaine Gabbert,
Yeah.
which neither of them should be throwing balls. So
You want to dive into NCAA football?
we can. I mean, what kind of
Because
NCAA are you talking about?
like like Kyle Pickett. I'm not a big fan of this kid.
Oh, Kenny Pickett, you mean?
Or Kenny Pickett. Yeah, my
You're
bad. I
talking
said
about,
Kyle
so you're
Benron.
not exactly talking about NCAA, you're talking about draft picks then.
Or yeah.
Yeah, so
My
yeah,
bad.
Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been accustomed to decent quarterback play, although Big Ben regressed quite heavily here. Um, but
But
the
I
Steelers have been
Kenny
really
Pickett will
good.
not.
They're
I
gonna
don't think he'll develop.
no, I don't. I mean, Trubisky is okay. Uh, Kenny Pickett's okay, although I do see more into the fumbles than a lot of people did. He did have small hands and fumbled quite a bit, so I don't see that being any long term good upside for them. They do have a defense that can carry you to probably 7 to 9 wins,
Yeah, with TJ
give
Watt.
or take. Don't know if it's they barely went into the playoffs this year. I don't foresee it happening with the amount of people that upgraded their teams if everybody plays to their potential.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of money wrapped up on the defensive side, but that offense, Juju's gone, which he was a secondary receiver, not your number one. He'll be good on the. That's I forgot to mention that with the Chiefs. They got Juju too, um,
Yeah.
but the Steelers team, I mean, it's not good. I mean, they're not going to want to give up the pieces on defense. It's not like if they did it would make it much better. They're going to want to still try to sell tickets, but it kind of reminds me of a Texans type team before they got Deshawn Watson. They
Yeah.
got a good guy, literally another Watt, and uh, it's just
It was his brother. Yeah.
yeah, he's just gonna sit there. It's unfortunate for him, but I mean they're fun. They did get Miles Jack from the Jaguars, so they did upgrade the defense really good.
They
It
did.
just
Yep.
depends on how bad that offense is, really.
Yeah, because
I get
offense wins games, but defense wins championships. But you can't take
if
it to the championship if you don't got anyone on offense.
if if that offensive line is good and Najee Harris is half as good as Derrick Henry, they might just be able to run the ball down people's throats to an extent.
Like that's true. 'Cause the Titans do. Derrick Henry gets like 22 carries a game,
Yeah, they
which
might just have to go run game at this point.
I
Uh,
think
their
Derrick
defense
Henry
is
is.
gonna get stops. I don't. I would almost trust the defense to get more touchdowns than the offense before I see it play this season. But I guess Steelers they had a good run of it, but every team like that has to have some down years because the other teams catch up to them and they don't have the draft picks where they need them, and it just happens. It happened with Detroit. It's lasted too long for Detroit, but uh, they were good for what about 8 years, and then they been bad for
Well,
about 12 to 14. So
speaking of the Texans, we were just talking about them.
okay,
Like they they just need like they're another Lions to me. They're just a dead franchise. They're the Browns, the Lions. They're just a dead franchise because they came into the league in what year? 2009, 2010. What team? What year?
2000, yeah, 2009. I think it was like a couple years after the Oilers, now Titans, went to Tennessee. Um, it was just bad. I watched a video on that, and it's pretty rough. That owner was just greedy on the Oilers, and it's almost like a curse in quotation marks. I mean, it's not an actual curse, I don't think. But the city of Houston, just there was something about the way the Oilers left that just left a bad taste in the city's mouth, and that just nothing's been good
Yeah.
since. They had that splash with Deshawn where they had that. I forget who they beat in that one playoff run that one year, and then Deshawn got hurt and it turned to nothing. Oh, who they made it to the second round that year? I don't know, but they had that one year where they had a good run, and then that's been
I
it.
know what you're talking about. I think they lost. Was it the Cowboys?
Maybe no,
No, I
Cowboys
don't
didn't
think it
make the
was.
second
No,
round that year. They made the second
no,
round a
they didn't.
long
No,
time.
yeah, no, it wasn't the Cowboys.
I'm trying to think. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Give
Yeah,
you quick context.
Oh, if I hear another Cowboys fan say, "This is our year,"
Should be their year every year in that garbage
dude,
division.
it's it's been the Cowboys' year since like they joined the league. All their fans say, "Oh, this is our year."
It's
I do not like the Cowboys fan
2019,
base.
and they lost in the divisional round. They beat the Bills in the wild card. That was young Josh Allen first playoffs, and then they lost to the Chiefs on their Chiefs' way to the Super Bowl. So
Oh wait, the Texans are AFC. Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
but that's what happened. They beat a young Josh Allen with that team that wasn't quite ready, and then they went up against the Chiefs. Took that Chiefs team to really close. I remember them talking about choking that lead away. They had the lead in that game. Oh, that's the one where they were up 24-7 in the first quarter, and then Mahomes just went off the rest of the game.
yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, and they haven't done anything since. Deshawn got injured, and then he got in trouble, and now they're in their position. They got Davis Mills talking about being a new quarterback. I don't know how that goes. He did have a decent rookie year,
I
but um, yeah, Texans suck.
mean,
Texans suck. That's all it is.
yeah, they're like they've been in the league how long? 2000, like the Ravens. Like let's take them for example. They joined the league in '96 and they won a Super Bowl in 4 years
Yeah.
or 5 years. They won a Super Bowl in 2001, and like the Texans, they need help. The Lions, they need help. Like all these teams need help.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Well,
don't.
not all these teams, but
Some of them do. Not the Rams. The Rams don't need help. They did just sign Aaron Donald to a 3-year deal.
they did. I did hear about that.
Yeah, that'll be good. He'll probably play out his career.
Yeah, I think Aaron Donald will probably stay with the Rams. Same with Jalen Ramsey. I think they're gonna. Those two will probably stay. Same with Matt Stafford, but
Oh boy, you're gonna be surprised when I tell you how old the Texans are.
how old are they?
99.
No,
The Oilers no Titans left in 96, and they got there in 99.
99, and they haven't. They've only been to what playoffs once or
One
twice.
playoff run probably.
One playoff.
Ah,
Jesus.
let me see. Texans playoff history. Probably fairly short if I had to take a chance. Pro Football Reference. They were 4-6, zero playoff appearances. 2011 they made it to the divisional, lost to the Ravens when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. 2012 divisional, lost to the Patriots. 2015 wild card, lost to the Chiefs, and that's when the Chiefs suck, so that's not very good. And divisional 2016 lost to New England. 2018 lost to the Colts. The Colts weren't even that good that year. 2019 lost to the Chiefs. I'll give them one thing though. Half of the times when they've lost in the divisional round, the team has went on to win the Super Bowl, so they've got that for them.
Yeah,
But that's about it.
but
That's all they've got.
they are always
Pro
the
Football
lowest seed.
Reference is 02, so I'm gonna go with Pro Football Reference. They started in 02. Their total record in their whole history is 139 and 182. They're 4-6 in the playoffs. Never made it to the Super Bowl. Never even touched. Never even sniffed the Super Bowl. Really. They've wasted the career of J.J. Watt and Andre
DeAndre
Johnson
Hopkins
and Andre
and yeah,
Johnson.
well, yeah, Andre Johnson. They didn't really waste the Hop's
Their
career. They
winningest
kind of did.
coach was 3 wins below 500. So,
Greatest coach of all time. That's what it sounds like.
and they let him coach 120 games. So, I don't know how many seasons that is, but there was only
In
seven,
games in the
16
season.
games in a, or 15 games or 16 in a season.
Yeah, there was
So that
16, and
means he
then they just
coached
bumped
almost a
it to
decade
17.
and had a below 500 record, and they still kept him. So they deserve every bit of this that they get, I guess. Not the fans, but the franchise. I
I
mean, come on.
remember, like
Even
a
the
few months
Pistons
ago.
went through like 6 coaches in 10 years. So
But yeah, I heard a rumor like 6 months ago. Like speaking of like how many games are played in the season, I was told that they're thinking about bringing in a new team from either St. Louis, London, Toronto, and making it an 18 game season. I heard that was a rumor. I don't know if that's true,
I've heard that too, but
but
it's
I
gonna be
why
rough
would you
because
bring in a team to
London
London?
takes too
Why?
long to get to.
Yeah, and they're just gonna have to fly new teams out every week, and it's just
Yeah,
why.
yeah, they already moved the Raiders to Vegas, so that's not an issue anymore. St. Louis is a whole nother issue because they're not exactly settled with the owner of the Rams. The Rams owner, kind of left on a not exactly legal pretense, so there's possible court implications to that. I don't know if he'll settle it. I mean, I think he's loaded, so they probably settle it out of court. But St. Louis fans were not happy. They could use St. With a lot of leagues, the middle of the country is not. Uh, there's no real teams to show for it. The only exception really is probably Memphis Grizzlies and the Nashville Predators, Indiana
And
Pacers, those kind of
that's
teams. But there's a
and
lot
the
of
market's still small for them,
yeah. Kansas City
even though they're
Chiefs
out
is
there.
probably your biggest, really.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
even that
Kansas City's
Kansas
probably
City
the biggest
market
one.
is underutilized by a lot of other leagues. I think the NBA could throw a team either in Kansas City or Louisville. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, NBA's talked about expansion lately. You've got Seattle, you've got Las Vegas are probably your biggest chances of getting another NBA team, but they do need something in Kansas City, Cincinnati, Louisville, or even St. Louis. Even Virginia's been talked
or
about for
even
the NBA.
somewhere in Arizona.
They got
Oh,
Phoenix Suns.
yeah, Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about Phoenix.
no, but
I forgot Phoenix was in Arizona.
yeah, a lot of people forget Phoenix is there because they're usually done by the first or second round. But uh,
Oh, they've been good 2 years.
yeah, they've had good years here.
That's just, to be honest, that's just with the help of Chris Paul
That's Chris
and D
Paul,
Book.
and even Chris Paul will help, and Chris Paul will also hurt because that's the whole reason they're not playing right now. Is Chris Paul.
Yeah,
So
that's the reason
it's
OKC
kind of
sucked when
die
they
if
had
you
Chris
do, die
Paul.
if you don't kind of thing.
And Chris Paul will definitely go out his career with 0 rings, along with Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah. I think they need to trade Chris Paul for Kyrie Irving. That'll fix everything.
Oh, I heard something about
Yeah, I don't know where
but
Kyrie's gonna
to the
sign.
Lakers.
I don't think we have enough time today to talk about the amount of teams that will and will not sign Kyrie Irving. So I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, I think I'm good.
yeah, I don't.
On
Yeah, we got
conversation.
hour 12 minutes. I think we're good. People probably don't want to listen for much more than an hour, so we're already over that. And that's all right. I'm gonna cut this up and make multiple clips out of it, and I'll have this out tonight. I try to do. I got the day off tomorrow. I should cut all these up and just have them scheduled. I'll see what I can do tomorrow. So yeah, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah,
We'll see what we can do
definitely
here.
be back on for sure.
Yeah, we'll keep running this. I don't know. Maybe I'll even get as crazy and maybe do 2 a week. Who knows? Maybe I'll get crazy. Probably won't though. Probably be one a week.
Yeah,
I'm a lazy piece of garbage,
probably.
but
I think it's best to do 1 a week just because it'll like allow stories to come out
oh yeah,
throughout the week.
yeah,
And you just do weekly stories.
oh yeah, yeah. Definitely once a week. But yeah, I'm gonna cut this clip up. We'll be good to go. I'm gonna try to get some mixtapes going. I've done one mixtape. I did a Kobe Bryant tribute, but it was 20 minutes long. I don't want to do another 20-minute long one. Probably gonna be more like a 3 to 5 minute long thing. Try to put it with a song, even if it gets demonetized. I don't make money anyway, so it doesn't matter. And yeah,
Hey,
probably
John
gonna
Madden a tribute.
yeah. I don't know. We'll see what I can do, but yeah, this was a good one. Uh, we'll run this back next week. Thank you for listening.